everyone, Hungry Reader here. You haven't seen much of me this month, have you? Yeah, I'm really sorry about that. I wish I had some wacky adventure to give you, but the truth is, very boringly, I got really sick. I spent about half of this month struggling with persistent stomach virus. I won't go into the details, but if you've ever heard of H.P. Lori, that's not necessarily what I had, but it's what I was treated for, and it seems to have worked. Anyway, uh, actually, that was not the original reason that I got a little behind. Was actually I went on vacation, and I had plans while I was on vacation to actually do some videos on location, but they didn't work out all that well. I managed to take one of them, but I was so disappointed with the way it turned out that I ended up not really doing much of anything with it, and then I got really sick when I got back, so it's been kind of a rough April for me, and I'm really sorry for, I know there are in fact some people who look forward to my videos, and I'm grateful for all of you. But if you're the kind of person that actually looks forward to my videos and misses me when I'm gone, well, one, you rock, thank you. And two, maybe you'd like to see what I did anyway, even though the audio is terrible. Terrible. I made an attempt to record using a lavalier mic and it did not work. So we're going to have a look at my only so far video shot outside in the real world where books aren't naturally occurring. So let's not go there again. Here's Jenny's surprise summer.
Hi everyone, Hungry Reader here. Here I am on the fabulous Cayucos Pier with the big Morro Bay, or maybe it's Pismo Beach rock in the background. I don't know much about geography. I know about children's books. If you're like me, you come to the beach with one thing in mind: getting away from the painful, biting, gnawing heat of summer. Here on the beach, it's always nice and cloudy, and it's chilly, and you want to wear a hoodie, and that's perfect beach weather for me, at least. Maybe some of you are just coming out of a big snowy winter, and you can't wait for the heat to come, and, I just don't understand that. Beaches are very dog-friendly. Have you noticed that? I guess it wouldn't make much sense to take a cat on a leash and everything, but, what if you're a cat lover and you want to go to the beach? Well, luckily there's at least one book about that. It's called Jenny's Surprise Summer. This is a little golden book. It's not necessarily my first little golden book. I don't remember if I've done one since. But this was always a favorite of mine as a child. Jenny's Surprise Summer's story and pictures are both by Eugenie. Eugenie? Eugenie. Eugenie.
For most of the year, Jenny lived in the city. But in the summer, she visited her grandmother in a house by the beach. Summer was the best time of all. It was a time for bare feet and seashells and swimming with the gulls.
Look at all the details in the sea life on this picture. 3 different kinds of crabs: regular, hermit, and horseshoe. And a mermaid's purse. You even know what those are? Those are shark egg cases.
One day when the tide was very low, Jenny was gathering mussels for a stew.
Apparently they aren't the zebra mussels, so this must not take place in Michigan.
Suddenly, a thunderstorm raced across the bay. Jenny ran to hide in her secret cave.
This is called being a child of privilege. Not only does her grandma have a beach house, but she has her own cave?
All at once, she heard hissing and growling behind her. She turned. 4 green eyes were gleaming in the dark. Jenny started to back away.
Her own private cave with her own monster? Jenny, my God.
Then the hissing and growling turned to mewing. Jenny discovered that the gleaming green eyes belonged to 2 tiny kittens. They looked just as frightened and cold as Jenny. She picked them up and gave them a big hug. Then she tucked them under her shirt to get warm. Jenny decided to call the orange kitten Pumpkin and the gray one Smokey. As she stroked their soft fur, she thought about how lucky she was to have found them. I've always wanted a kitten. Now I have 2.
To her credit, Eugenie does not pretend that kittens do not have very prominent anuses.
For the rest of the summer, Jenny played with her kittens, She climbed the apple tree with them, built sand castles for them to knock down, and took them fishing in her little boat.
This right here was making the case for cat-friendly beaches.
Smokey never stayed in one place for very long. He scampered up and down the beach, chasing crabs and minnows, playing with snails and darting away from the waves. Pumpkin was happiest sitting in Jenny's lap. As the end of the summer drew near, Jenny began to worry. She would be going back to the city soon. What if her parents said she couldn't keep the kittens? The next day, Jenny was glad to see her mom and dad, but when she asked about the kittens, her parents said 2 kittens would be too much trouble in an apartment. Jenny was heartbroken. Well, said her mom finally, maybe 1 kitten would be okay. But Jenny loved both kittens. How could she decide which one to take? Jenny took the kittens up to the attic and sat down on Granny's old steamer trunk.
Well, apparently Granny runs a beachside antique store. I think it was just in this place. Also, that steamer trunk says Feifel. Hey, keep those cats out of that turn-of-the-century mouse's belongings.
Pumpkin is quiet and calm, she thought, and Smokey is lively and bouncy. Pumpkin likes to snuggle up at home, and Smokey likes to hunt and romp on the beach. All at once, Jenny knew the answer. Smokey is a beach cat, Granny. He'll be much happier here than in the city. Will you take care of him for me? Of course. He can keep me company until you come back. I think you made just the right choice. As Jenny started back to the city with her parents, she hugged Pumpkin. She knew he'd be happy in the cozy city apartment. And next year, when she came back to Jenny's, she and Smokey and Pumpkin would be all together again, ready to look for new summer surprises.
Yeah, you know how cats who haven't seen each other in a year react? This is one of those books that you can really tell was written and illustrated by the same person, because it's all about things that the person really knows well and really knows how to draw well. I don't know anything about Eugenie, but clearly she lives in a beach town, or at least spends a lot of time there. She knows all the things that you'll find on a beach, and she knows kittens. Pumpkin and Smokey are so cute! I want a kitten now! Oh, I always want a kitten. I mean, like, I want a kitten with every meal, but... Have you noticed that this is my first on-location Hungry Reader video? Hopefully next time I won't have to suspend my phone over the ocean itself by a gorilla pod to record the next one. I gotta turn this off before I do something I regret.